can't get in, it's the door's busted shut. Oh, this one's open. The lock's frozen as well. Ah, right, try the other side. This one looks open. Ah, that's alright. Good. I don't know. There. Good morning. Welcome to Once Driven Forever Smitten. It's another beautiful fresh winter's day. Taking the Omega a run today because we're going to go and see one of its close relatives. See if you can guess what it is. But first I need to turn the frost off of it. And another cold night. I can't get in the driver's door because it's jammed shut. Don't see how this door could be jammed shut. Right, I have to sort this out. Definitely a bit of a cold one this morning, if that's what temperature it is now with the sun coming up. I still can't get out the thing, the doors. Yeah, frozen solid. Dearie me. Plenty of ice on the inside of it as well. So it'll take a bit of defrosting. It's a really beautiful winter's day, just coming down towards Avon Gorge now, and weirdly there's no snow here, it's just like hard frost, whereas there's loads of snow up my way. Still -3 and the wiper blades are completely frozen. Okay, so we are on our way to see a car which is a close relative of the Omega, and of course I'll have told you in the title of the video what it is, so you'll already know. We're going to go and see a Senator 24 valve which has got some running problems. I'm not sure exactly what's up with it, but it seems to run for a little bit and then cut out. So I'm hoping that it's just the fuel pump really, but we'll get a look round it and we can see if we can see anything obvious. It's not a car I'm overly familiar with. Certainly not compared to the V6 engines in these. This dual ram 24 valve engine was quite state of the art at the time, but it's not one that I know a lot about, so we'll just have to go and wing it. That looks a bit slidey. We'll just come out here, that's all I say. Get some petrol here because it's 4p cheaper than the one in Blackburn per litre. Oh, still -3. Apologise for that knocking noise, it's my jack handle hitting off the top of the toolbox. I wedged a hat in between them, but it didn't seem to have worked. So it's nice to get the Omega out for a run. I've not been using it very much. Just to clarify, I did buy this car one owner from new with 6,000 miles on it. I'm the second owner. Bought it from an old guy in Mulgai up near Glasgow in 2018, and I put 17,000 miles on it in 2019, and then it spent most of 2020 parked up due to not having any travel requirements due to lockdown. But it drives like a brand new car. It really should be up for sale quite soon. I don't think there's too many of it with this mileage on it. But a nice comfy thing, not a lot of spec in it. It's got climate control and everything, that all works, and it's got a leather steering wheel. But that's about it. I had to fit the cruise control myself. I fitted these leather seats in it, but there's no wiring for the heat in them. You can switch the heated seat switches on, but there's no wiring for me to plug into them, which I found really weird because an old Cavalier's pre-wired for heated seats. But anyway, I'll probably have this up for sale in a couple of months once the Vectra C Elite comes up the road. So if you're looking for an Omega, I think this one's probably quite, there won't be too many of them coming up like this. And also I've got to say, in favour of the Omega, what a comfortable, well-built car these are. It's a model of car, well, a type of car that literally doesn't exist anymore. The mainstream executive car. They stopped making them, well, I mean, they had an attempt with the Signum, I suppose, but they just don't bother anymore. The market's completely been taken over by Mercedes, BMW and Audi, with your A6s and your 5 Series and cars like that. The Omega really was very good in terms of comfort and handling. I think this handled surprisingly well considering it's just a normal GLS. I think it's good taut suspension on it. I quite like it. I was reading on one of the old police car pages on Facebook that the police didn't like these as much as the Senators. Not sure how much truth there is in that. But these were, I mean, the later Omegas were certainly a little bit more powerful, like the 3.2s. But here's us going up onto the motorway. The thing that counts against it's the heavy flywheel. So it takes a while for it to pick up. There we go. It's down here. We're going 60. Look at the absolute state of this windscreen. The wipers are just frozen solid. That's putting washer fluid up onto the screen and it's just, the wipers are just, there's no flexibility in them at all to clean the screen. What are you supposed to do? Right, we're in the scenic Vauxhall Hills area, Clackmannanshire. Right, so we're here. One very rare, very good condition, Irmscher kitted Vauxhall Senator, which has got a running problem whereby it'll lose power and then it'll cut out and not start again. Can't be many of these knocking about, so aye. We'll get I'll look round it and see what the score is. Look, oh, this thing's mint. Dual ram system. Much loved by the police, these 3 litre 24 valves. You can see there it's got the old style aircon in it, and that's the old style cruise control unit on it as well, as you don't see too many of. And I'm going to guess the first thing to look at would be the fuel pump relay, whatever that is. I guess it might be in the inside at the kick panel. Should have done my research before I came out. a bit of history about the car. It had a full respray in 2012 with the glass out, and it's got a fancy cylinder head on it. I think that's a fuel pump relay sitting there myself. Always the first culprit, is it? Maybe it isn't. That's not a fuel pump relay, as far as I'm aware. A red, that'll be an ABS relay. That's what that is. I think it'll be inside the car. We'll fire it up anyway and see if we can get it to misbehave. Oh, look at this. That's like a police style speedometer. Oh, listen to that. Beautiful. That's definitely -2.5. It's in agreement with the Omega. Right. Let's just let it sit for a bit and see if we can get it to misbehave. Just having a look, there's the ECU for the car. And just behind there we can see our thick red and blue wire, and yep, that's where the fuel pump relay is hidden away in there. So we'll just see. Listen to that purring away. Lovely, proper letterbox style exhausts on it as well. Yeah, we'll just let it warm up and then wait for it to cut out. So what I've done is I'm just having a look there. I'm just wiggling the crank sensor and then it cut out. So we'll just try and start it again. I don't know if that was coincidence or not. Just, don't know if you can see that, yeah you should be able to, the crank sensor's located just down the side of the dizzy cap, and the wire's just running from there into that bit at the coolant tank, but it hasn't cut out again since I've like wiggled it. So crank sensors tend to either work or not work, so we're going to have a look at the fuel pump relay. It just cut out again when I wasn't wiggling anything on it. It just randomly cut out, so don't think it's the crank sensor. Yeah, let's have a look at this fuel pump relay. Right, I'm going to go for, see if I can extract this from where it lives. Okay, so I've managed to extract the fuel pump relay, and as you can see there's a bit of corrosion on those terminals, and which was much more difficult to extract was the relay plug itself, which has got some green corrosion in it, which I would say would be a prime candidate for making the car cut out. So we'll get this cleaned up and we'll pop another relay in it as well and see what that does. So this is the fuel pump relay from my car, and I'm just going to spray a bit of WD-40 into the contacts on there, and then this has got a metal bracket on it which is going to interfere with that. Right, we'll just go in. How does this go in again? Round that way. Just go and shove this in and out a good few times to try and clean the contacts up in it. See if any sort of dust comes out. Oh, there's a bit of dust coming out it. So I'm just going to keep going with that for a little bit. If I'm going to try my relay on it, I'll have to take that metal bracket off it, because it's fouling against the plastic bracket from the Senator. I've just bent the bracket round on my relay because we know that this one works, so what we'll do is we'll see if the car will run with it. running with my relay in it. Oh, now it's cut out again, straight away. Well, let's see. We're wiggling the wires, and the relay to the wires all look spot on, because they're all so well insulated and positioned in these old cars that you don't tend to get bothered with the wiring on them. That's got no, seems alright just now. Let's just leave it sitting running and see if it's just going to randomly cut out. That's all we can do. See if we've maybe solved something. Come on, keep running. Sounds good, smells even better. Is it going to behave this time? Ain't cut out yet, so that's good. Okay, so it's still cutting out, and if I go and like waggle things randomly, sometimes it cuts out again, but it looks to me like there's water dripping from somewhere, so I'm going to pull the ECU out it and we'll see if there's anything in there, if there's any water in the plug or anything like that, because there's definitely something dripping down the back from the bulkhead, so I wonder if it's got soaking wet sound deadening in it. Okay, so ECU lives in here. I'm just going to pop this off it. Oh yes! Oh yes! I think I found out what's wrong with this anyway. Your ECU's full of water. There's a water leak coming in exactly the same as what was on my Cavalier GL. The water's been coming down and dripping into the ECU plug, look at that. That's what's wrong with it. Yeah, you can see that there, the ECU plug's just dripping wet with water. So's the ECU. Might be as well, oh, I don't know, it depends how sensitive it is. I wonder, we just give this a clean out, a blast out. Sure, I've not got an airline here to like compressed air to go and blast all the water out it. But pretty certain that's what's wrong with it. The issue with the water will be, well, you'd probably have to strip the wiper linkage and everything out, but right down the sides there, there's a hole where the water runs down, and there's also a load of seam sealer there. And that seam sealer prevents water going down inside the car, and with it being so old, the seam sealer will just have gone hard and the water will be getting in behind it, so it would require you to remove the wiper linkage and all that, get in there, dig the seam sealer out and see what's underneath it. Okay, so I've gone and sprayed a bit of WD-40 in the ECU for the moment, into the plug, cleaned it all out, got the water out it, so we're just going to leave it sitting running again, and hopefully this time it isn't going to go and randomly cut out. It looks like, oh, you probably wouldn't be able to see it, well you can, to the right of that blue wire there's a little hole there where you could see daylight into the engine bay, so there's maybe something needing sealed up in there. Well, it's been running for a good few minutes now. It seems to be idling a bit fast, but then again it might be a little bit confused at the moment. But it's not cutting out anymore. Last time I tried to open the boot, it cut out. Hey! That's quite a sizable boot. So your spare wheel will sit. Tidy looking car, like, looks solid. Obviously things like the water getting in where the old seam sealer is just a product of age. Comes as standard with sort of any motor, just normal wear and tear. Look inside this, look at this lovely dash. That's like the calibrated police type, is it? Or do all the Senators come with the little notches filled in? You've got this lovely padded leather dash, dual zone climate control, and these chunky switches here. Air conditioning, obviously 4-speed auto box with winter mode on it. There's the trip computer buttons there. Obviously we won't get much out the trip computer at the moment because it's not been moving. 1 degree we're up to. Oh hey, you've got your 4 electric window switches here. So yeah, it's quite a luxurious car. Seems small inside though, even though it's a big executive car of the 90s and late 80s. It does feel small compared to a modern car. Don't cut out. You see as well the build quality on these, that's 200,000 this car's done, and look at the condition of it, it looks superb. It's not going to cut out, it's going to be okay. We're going to be able to take it for a test drive. Look at this, it's got like variable mode suspension. I take it that's sport, medium and comfort, I guess. I've not seen that before. And you've got the lovely wood cap doors with the carpet trim on them and everything. Very nice. Okay, so here we go. It wouldn't drive before, it would cut out all the time. And it wouldn't take any, it wouldn't go under load, so I've never driven one of these before. Tell you what, they're smooth as anything. This is lovely. I'm only going to run it around the housing estate just in case, but you can't even hear the engine. You think that had stalled? Oh, lovely, smooth steering on it. I could get used to this. I can see why the police like them already. Feel the torque in it. That's lovely. And I think I've solved it anyway. Water in the ECU. That's the issue. Remember that if you get any weird running faults. So, oh, management lights went out. Oh, it's back on again. Right. Bit of running. Now it's definitely it's taking loads from the throttle pedal. It's not like bogging down like it was before. So I say it's really needing some compressed air to blow the water out that plug properly. I've fired some WD-40 in it and given it a shake, which has been enough to get it to move just now. Happy days, there we go. Ticked on off the list. Never driven a Senator before. Driven a Lotus Carlton, but never a Senator of any description, never mind a CD 24 valve. So there we go. I'm going to chalk that one up to being a success. Now there's a thing, how am I going to get my Omega out of here? I'll be alright, loads of space. So there you have it. 3 litre 24 valve Senator, problem solved. We checked the crank sensor, we checked the fuel pump relay, and then we checked the ECU for having water in the plug, which is the 3 most likely things if it's not running properly. There is also drawing air through fuel lines, but you'll smell the petrol if it's that. So there you go, problem solved. If you enjoyed that, catch you next time.